December 8th, this day in history. 1. On this day in 1941, the United States enters World War II. One day after Japan's devastating attack on Pearl Harbor, the United States Congress gathered in a tense, crowded chamber. President Franklin D. Roosevelt delivered his famed speech calling December 7th a date which will live in infamy. With overwhelming support, Congress declared war on Japan. Overnight, American life transformed. Factories shifted to war production. Young men enlisted in droves, and the nation stepped into a global conflict that would reshape the world and define an entire generation. 2. On this day in 1980, John Lennon is killed in New York. The world was stunned when John Lennon, former Beatle and messenger of peace, was shot outside his home at the Dakota Building. Just hours earlier, he had been happily signing autographs for fans. News spread rapidly, and people across the globe mourned a voice that had shaped modern music. His message of love, unity, and imagination echoed louder than ever, turning December 8th into a day forever connected to both tragedy and artistic legacy. 3. On this day in 1949, the People's Republic of China is recognized by the UN. On this day, the United Nations officially recognized the newly established People's Republic of China as the legitimate government of China. The move shifted global diplomatic dynamics, especially amid the rising tensions of the Cold War. For many countries, navigating the relationship between the PRC and Taiwan became a delicate balancing act. The recognition marked a turning point that shaped future international policies and the evolving balance of world power. 4. On this day in 1991, Romania joins the Council of Europe. After decades behind the Iron Curtain, Romania took a major step toward democratic reform and European integration by joining the Council of Europe. The decision symbolized a break from the communist past and a commitment to human rights, political freedom, and legal reform. This brought many Romanians renewed hope for openness, stability, and connection to the wider European community. 5. On this day in 1941, the attack on Wake Island begins. Just hours after striking Pearl Harbor, Japanese forces launched another attack, this time on the remote U.S. military outpost at Wake Island. The small contingent of Marines stationed there found themselves suddenly thrust into battle. The defenders of the island mounted a fierce defense against overwhelming odds, stunning the attackers and inspiring Americans back home. Although the island eventually fell, their courage became a lasting symbol of determination and bravery. 6. On this day in 1863, Abraham Lincoln announces Amnesty Plan. In the middle of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln offered a vision of reconciliation rather than revenge. His proclamation of amnesty and reconstruction promised leniency to Southern states that rejoined the Union and pledged loyalty. The plan sparked debate. Some saw it as too forgiving, while others viewed it as a path toward healing. Although not fully realized in his lifetime, Lincoln's proposal laid groundwork for the long and complicated rebuilding of a divided nation. 7. On this day in 1993, NAFTA is signed into law in the United States. President Bill Clinton signed the North American Free Trade Agreement, creating one of the world's largest trade blocs among the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Supporters promised economic growth and cross-border cooperation, while critics worried about job displacement and shifting industries. Regardless of perspective, the agreement transformed trade across North America, deepening economic ties and influencing the movement of goods, labor, and ideas for decades to come. 8. On this day in 1966, the introduction of the U.S. Navy's Black Beret SEAL Teams. On this day, SEAL Teams 1 and 2 were formally established, marking a new era of elite U.S. special operations. Trained for sea, air, and land missions, these units were built for covert operations, reconnaissance, and unconventional warfare. Their creation responded to challenges emerging in Southeast Asia. The team's skill, adaptability, and secrecy would later make them legendary, shaping the image of modern special forces around the world. 9. On this day in 1974, Greece votes to abolish its monarchy. After years of political turmoil, military rule, and national uncertainty, Greeks went to the polls to decide their future. In a decisive vote, the nation chose to end the monarchy and establish a republic. The result marked a turning point away from unrest toward democratic restoration. For many citizens, the vote symbolized a reclaiming of national identity and a fresh chapter built on stability, accountability, and the will of the people. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.